Good day, children. I am teacher Sulin Brodricks. I hope all of you are fine and keeping in good health by the grace of God. Today I will be doing letter writing for standards 8th, 9th and 10th. Let us first have a look at informal letter writing or friendly letters. The format of an informal letter is as follows. You begin with the heading, which comprises of the sender's address and the date. If the name of the sender is given in the question, then it is mentioned in the heading. There are no punctuations after this name. This is followed by the sender's address. Each line of the address ends with a comma, and there is a full stop after the pin code, as this marks the end of the sentence. The date is not mentioned but directly written, and the date ends with a full stop. The next part of the letter is the salutation. This is followed by the body of the letter, which is written in 3 or 4 paragraphs. In the first para, you send your greetings to the receiver and make inquiries after his or her health, family, etc. In the second paragraph, a detailed reason for writing the letter is mentioned. If there is a lot to say, then this para can be split up into more paragraphs. The second para, where the reason for the letter is written, could be written in 2 or even 3 paragraphs. In the last paragraph, you do not end the letter abruptly, but courteously take your leave of the receiver. Kindly note, a line is left after each paragraph, because if a paragraph ends at the end of a line and the very next paragraph begins on the next line, it would be very difficult to know where one paragraph ends and the next one begins. In order to avoid this confusion, you will leave a line after each paragraph. After the concluding paragraph, you sign off by writing the subscription of the letter. If the sender's name is mentioned in the question, then that name is used in the subscription. Or if you need to maintain anonymity, you sign off using XYZ. Since XYZ is used instead of a name, you do not put a full stop after it. Certain general rules need to be observed or kept in mind while writing informal letters. The block format is used for writing the letters now. That is, everything is aligned to the left margin of the page. The style of the letter is very casual. It seems as if you are having a conversation with the recipient of your letter. The language used is very simple and informal because the tone of the letter is friendly. But at the same time, You need to be polite in your words and courteous in your manner of writing. An example of an informal letter is given here. Kindly note the format of the letter and the language used. Now, based on the format and the rules given and the example that was given of an informal letter, you will write a letter based on the given question for practice. We move on to formal letters or business letters. A look at the format. Here also, you begin with a heading comprising of the sender's name, if it is given in the question, or you can even use any other name. This is followed by the sender's address and the date. Immediately after the sender's address and the date, you have the receiver's address. The receiver's address in a formal or business letter begins with the word to. This is followed by the designation of the recipient of the letter, that is the post held by the person. You do not mention the name of the person. This is then followed by the person's official address. The next thing that is mentioned is the subject of the letter, which gives the recipient of the letter a quick idea of what are the contents of the letter. If you are writing a letter in reference to an ad or a previous letter, only then the reference is mentioned. We move to the body of the letter. In the first paragraph, you introduce yourself and the reason for writing the letter in short. In the second paragraph, you give a few more details pertaining to the letter, but you will mention only those details which are absolutely necessary. In the third paragraph, you now begin concluding your letter, either thanking the person in anticipation that you will receive a favorable response, or with the hope that your request will be answered. You formally end the letter with a subscription where you either sign your name if it is mentioned in the question, or use XYZ if you are supposed to maintain anonymity. Certain general rules have to be kept in mind while writing a formal letter also. Here also, the block format is used. That is, everything is aligned to the left margin space. The formal letter is very brief. It is to the point. It gives only those details that are absolutely necessary. The language used in writing a business or a formal letter is very formal. At the same time, it yet has to be very polite. Even in letters of complaint, one still needs to word the letters in very courteous language. That is, you will refrain from using very harsh terms or abusive language. In letters written on behalf of the community, no mention is made of any personal grievance. Instead, you mention in general the problems or grievances that the community faces. The given letter is an example of a formal letter. Kindly make a note of the format used and the rules applied while writing a formal letter. Now, based on the format and the rules given to you, you will now write a formal letter. This letter will be based on the question that is given to you. That's all, children. Have a nice day. Take care.